Clear thinking sounds easy, but most people do not practice it. Richard Feynman showed why thinking must come before learning and before understanding. He believed that learning without clear thinking creates fragile knowledge. It looks solid, but it breaks under pressure. Many people start learning the wrong way. They start by collecting facts. They copy notes. They repeat definitions. They highlight pages. These actions feel productive, but they often skip the most important part. They skip thinking. When thinking is unclear, learning stays weak no matter how much effort you apply. Feynman treated thinking as the first step in every subject. Before filling the mind, he wanted to clean it. He wanted to know what the idea really meant, not just how it was described. He believed that a confused mind cannot store knowledge properly. It only stacks information without order. You begin to see that the quality of thinking controls everything that follows. If you think in a messy way, you store messy ideas. If you think in a clear way, you store clear ideas. The same book can produce two very different results, depending on how the mind works while reading it. Feynman also showed that control comes before clarity. You must choose what you are trying to understand. You must limit your focus. You must guide attention instead of letting it wander. Clear thinking requires discipline. The mind must stay with one idea long enough to see its shape. When thinking improves, learning becomes smoother. Understanding becomes deeper. Ideas stop feeling heavy. You no longer fight the material. You move with it. Clear thinking becomes the foundation of learning. Poor thinking blocks learning because it creates overload. Feynman explained that confusion grows when the mind holds too much without structure. When ideas are not connected, the brain must work harder just to keep them in place. When thinking is messy, the brain tries to hold many things at once. It holds terms, steps, facts, and exceptions without order. This increases mental load. As load increases, clarity drops. Learning slows down because the mind is busy managing noise instead of understanding meaning. You begin to see that confusion is often not caused by the topic itself. It is caused by the way the topic is held in the mind. If you keep ideas as a pile, your brain works hard just to hold them. If you turn ideas into a chain, your brain can follow them easily. Feynman avoided mental piles. He wanted simple structure. He wanted each step to connect to the next. This reduced overload. It also made learning faster because each new idea had a place to go. The mind no longer had to guess where things belonged. When structure is missing, even simple facts feel hard. When structure is present, even complex topics become manageable. Unclear thinking blocks real learning because it hides structure. Clear thinking happens in steps. Feynman believed that skipping steps creates confusion. Many people try to learn by jumping to conclusions. They want the final answer first. They want shortcuts. But shortcuts often hide the logic. When logic is hidden, learning becomes fragile. You may know the result, but you do not know why it works. When conditions change, your understanding fails. You begin to feel lost. Step-by-step thinking creates stability. Each step is small. Each step can be checked. Each step can be explained. When you move this way, the mind stays calm. There is no rush. There is no guessing. Feynman used direct steps to remove fog. If a step was unclear, he stopped. He did not move forward and hope clarity would appear later. He fixed the step first. Only then did he continue. This method prevents false learning. When you use steps, you can see what you truly understand and what you only repeat. This makes learning honest. Honest learning is faster in the long run. Steps are not slow. They are efficient. They reduce errors. They reduce relearning. They build real understanding. Step-by-step thinking builds clarity. Big ideas feel hard when they are too large for the mind to hold. Feynman reduced difficulty by breaking ideas into small pieces. A large topic often introduces many new terms at once. It shows many connections at once. The brain becomes overloaded. When overload appears, people begin to guess. Guessing creates noise. Noise creates confusion. Confusion creates frustration. Small pieces reduce overload. Each piece can be learned clearly. Each piece can be tested. Each piece can be placed in order. Progress becomes steady instead of overwhelming. Feynman treated learning like building a simple structure. You do not place the roof first. You place the base first. Then you add the next part. Each part supports the next. Breaking ideas into pieces also helps you see what matters. Many topics include extra detail early. Small pieces help you find the core logic first. Details can be added later without confusion. Small pieces make learning easier because they give you control. Control reduces stress. Control improves clarity. Simple language is a tool for clear thinking. Feynman used plain words to remove confusion. Complex words can hide weak understanding. You can repeat a hard term and still not know what it means. You can sound correct and still be unclear. Feynman wanted the opposite. He wanted thinking that stayed clear even when the words were simple. Plain language forces you to hold meaning inside your own mind. You cannot hide behind textbook phrasing. You must build your own explanation. Simple language also exposes gaps. If you cannot explain a step in plain words, that step is not clear yet. This is useful information. It tells you exactly where to focus. Feynman did not reject technical terms forever. He refused to use them too early. He built understanding first, then technical terms became labels, not crutches. Simple words reduce mental load. They make ideas easier to test, easier to connect, and easier to remember. Simple language creates clear thinking. Checking thinking improves learning because it prevents hidden errors. Feynman believed that most confusion comes from unchecked steps. When you do not check a step, you may accept it without proof. You may assume it makes sense. Later, that weak step breaks the whole chain. Small errors create big confusion. One weak link can elapse many steps. Checking is not extra work. It is protection. Feynman used a simple check. Can I explain this clearly and directly? If not, the learning is unfinished. He did not move forward hoping the confusion would disappear. Checking reduces mental noise. Unchecked ideas create inner doubt. The mind senses something is wrong. That doubt weakens focus. Checked thinking makes the mind quieter. Explaining is stronger than repeating. Repetition trains memory without understanding. Explanation trains understanding. When you explain without the book, you must rebuild the idea from meaning. You must connect steps. You must face gaps. Feynman used explanation as his main learning tool. If the explanation failed, he knew the learning was incomplete. Explanation also strengthens memory. It uses active recall. Active recall creates stronger mental links than passive reading. Gaps weaken learning when ignored. Feynman treated gaps as signals to stop. A gap may appear as confusion or as the inability to explain a step. If one part is unclear, the next part becomes harder. The topic feels complex even when the real issue is small. Feynman's response was simple. Find the exact point where clarity breaks. Fix it. Then continue. Fixing gaps early saves time. It prevents relearning. It builds stable understanding. Testing strengthens learning because it shows what is real. Feynman trusted testing more than feeling. Feeling is unreliable. Testing reveals weak parts. It shows what you cannot rebuild. Testing is not about grades. It is about clarity. It removes illusion. Memory works best when it has meaning to hold. Understanding creates that meaning. Feynman chased clarity, not memory. Once clarity appeared, memory followed naturally. Better thinking leads to better learning and deeper understanding. Feynman's method is repeatable. You control attention. You move in steps. You use simple language. You check understanding. You explain ideas. You fix gaps. You test often. You build meaning before memory. Better thinking is not about speed. It is about clarity. Clear thinking makes learning durable. Better thinking creates better learning and real understanding.